Hello
Hello
and
and
welcome
welcome
to
to
NDTV
NDTV
Live.
Live.
I'm
I'm
Sam
Sam
Daniel,
Daniel,
joining you live from Chennai. I have with me Commander Gauri Mishra, retired from Indian Navy, who had recently made a splash participating in the UCI World Track Cycling Championship. She finished in top 10, and this is, in a sense, her second innings. After her tenure with the Indian Navy, she worked hard for 5 years and made sure she becomes the first Indian woman in the Masters category to represent India in this prestigious world event. Thank you very much for your time and tell us about this particular event in which you participated.
I participated in the UCI World Masters Track Cycling Championship. It is one of the most prestigious track cycling event of the world. Participating in this event and representing our country and being the first woman from our country to be a part of such an honorable event was a matter of pride for me. I really feel delighted, and at the age of 40, when you learn a totally new sport, track cycling is very new to me, but being able to perform at the international arena gives me an immense sense of pride.
Commander Gauri, tell us about the selection process for this.
So I went through a rigorous selection procedure, since it is the most prestigious cycling event of the world. I was selected by Cycling Federation of India. They undertook trials here at Pune, and after a rigorous training, which I did here at Chennai, I went and participated. And thanks to the Cycling Federation of India that they considered me based on my timing, and finally my results were sent to UCI, which is the governing body of track cycling, and they approved. And then finally, I was recommended for to participate in World Masters Track Cycling Championship.
We all know about the regular cycling on the roads for which Chennai is well known for. Tell us about the kind of infrastructure and the kind of practice you had to go through when it came to track cycling.
So, it all started with my son Ryan. I introduced him to road cycling, and we still remember and we still cherish the interview which you took Ryan few years back, when he made a world record of covering 108 kilometers non-stop. So, I introduced Ryan to road cycling, and Ryan introduced me to track cycling. So, after doing around 10,000 kilometers of cycling, road cycling here at Chennai, I thought that let me explore track cycling as well. You know, Chennai is fortunate enough that it has got a velodrome. It is an external velodrome, but the facility is still present over there, unlike so many other states when there is no velodrome. So when I got to know, when I realized that there is a velodrome, I started taking Ryan to that velodrome. But to tell you, it is around 55 kilometers from my place. So going there and coming back, at least 3 hours you're there on the road, and 2 hours, since it is an external velodrome, so you have to practice out there in the scorching heat. But since I thought that we have the facility over here, and me and Ryan, we both are very passionate about cycling, so we got into it. And yes, training was very very tough, because track cycling is a different kind of a sport. you know Track cycle doesn't has a brake.
Mhm.
So unlike road cycle, where you have a brake, you can stop the cycle anytime which you want. Here, you cannot stop your cycle.
Right.
And then you are wearing cleats. Cleats is something wherein your shoe is attached to the pedal. So your legs are kind of tied to the pedal. Cycle is without a brake,
Mhm.
and you are cycling in a velodrome. Velodrome is not like a plain surface.
Right.
It has got a slope, it has got some inclination. So you have to ride on that kind of slope, wherein the cycle is not having a brake and your pedal is tied to your shoe. So it becomes very, very difficult, and it is a lot of mental challenge. You cannot stop in between. After you finish your timing, then only you have to stop.
Right.
And there's a particular drill which you have to follow in a track cycle. Overcoming your fear and mastering the skill. It is not a one-day job. You
It
know,
takes a lot of time to master a skill
Right.
in track cycling because the road is so hard. When you shift from road to track, it is hard. So there's no gear, there's no brake, your leg is tight. It's hard when you're shifting. And I motivated my mother to join
no,
track
he's
cycling.
right. He's right. You know, because initially I took Ryan,
Right.
but he said, "See, if I can do it, if a 7-year-old is able to do track cycling, why can't you do it?"
Right.
So then, since I was going there, I was with him. I also picked up cycling, and I'm still learning from Ryan.
It's amazing. You finished in top 10. In fact, you secured the eighth rank in that international championship. What was the main challenge and what next when it comes to the same event for next year?
Track cycling is pretty new to India, unlike if you see other countries like US and UK. Here we don't have track cycling equipment since it is a very niche sport. So the items, the equipments are not readily available. For my championship also, I had to literally go through the internet, sit over the websites and procure all my items. I imported most of my items from UK, New Zealand, USA. So it took me a lot of time. If the items are available, readily available, if we have a market for such equipments, so then things become very, very easy. In fact, you will not believe, just before the championship also, I I changed my cleats and some other things as well. So if the items are available, things will become very, then you only have to focus on your training part. But procuring items from all over the world and then seeing that if it is suiting your requirements and then performing, it becomes a little difficult.
What next?
So I am aiming for next World Masters Track Cycling Championship, which is to be held at France next year. And let's see how better I improve myself and till where can I go and perform.
Ryan, tell me about your Guinness record and the other series of records you have done over the years in cycling in Chennai.
Yes. My first record was covered by you only, which was 108 kilometers
Right.
in 5 hours, just 6 years in a non-gear cycle.
Mhm.
My second record is 150 kilometers in 7 hours at the age of 6 years at a non-geared cycle. Then my third record is 7,000 kilometers in 1 year. My fourth record, I beat my 100-kilometer time by 100 kilometers in 3 hours. And then my fifth record is in track cycling, which is 500-meter track sprint in 50 seconds, which no kid has ever done in that speed
Wow.
at
What's,
the
what,
age of 7.
what's your dream?
My dream is to become a professional cyclist
Mm-hmm.
and represent India in the events.
Any particular event you have in mind?
I don't have any event in mind, but it's the 500-meter track sprint and the Tour de France road race.
Tour de France. Okay. That's in Paris, is it?
Yes.
Tell us about that. How are you preparing for that?
But I'm too small to go in that. But when I get in that category, I'll try my best to go in all the events can in that category.
It's amazing. You both inspire each other,
Yes.
mom and son.
She inspired me in road, and I inspired her in track.
Mm-hmm.
So we both are equal. We both always inspire everyone in same.
So in fact, has become a very pro cyclist. I will tell you,
Right.
because he will watch GCN, he will see so many things on YouTube, and in the evening I will realize that he knows something more than me. So he will say, "Oh, you are not able to do it. See, I can do this track. There are so many tricks." So he can do some track tricks, and then he is very comfortable. He's become very confident
Right.
of riding on a roller also. So
Cycling is quite popular in Chennai across India, but still, when it comes to competitive cycling, to participate in national and international events, I think still many people are either unaware or they are reluctant. Do you see that kind of a trend, the kind of a feeling among cyclists?
Things are changing.
Mhm.
Few years back, things were not as good as we can see.
Okay.
So it is a process. It is a process. It is not a one-day activity. Like now, you see, there is a craze for cricket. I am sure in the times to come, definitely people will be so much into cycling. And you see, cycling is very environment friendly and a very healthy option of
Right.
lifestyle as well. So that's why, in fact, me and Ryan, we always run a campaign like we should always pedal for planet, because cycling reduces carbon.
Carbon footprints, and it reduces pollution. You can go anywhere with cycle. Like if you need to go grocery shopping, you can go grocery shopping.
Do you do that?
Yes, you do that. And it's a lot of fun. You can commute anywhere you want.
And Commander Gauri, age is just a number. It cannot be a barrier when it comes to achieving in sports or in anything in life. What's the message?
Yes, definitely. You are absolutely right. You know, it is all in mind. That's what I feel. If you're passionate about anything, you have to follow your passion. Age is just a number. If you follow your passion, everything will fall into place. Like when I started track cycling, I was 40 years. But people told me that you will fall, you will break your teeth when your pedal is tied to your shoes, when you are all cleated up, cycle is not having brakes, you are riding in velodrome, it is not a plain surface. I thought that if we can overpower you don't have to have a mental block. You have to just go all out. Since I saw my son is passionate about cycling, and even I was passionate about it, so I thought of following my
Any message
passion.
for women cyclists or women sports persons or anybody?
Age is just a number. Just follow your passion, whatever you like, and it all starts with your mindset. You have to just come out, and cycling. I would say cycling is, it gives you a kind of freedom, a sense of freedom. So, and in fact, in Chennai, the infrastructure is very good. Let me say,
Right.
the city is very safe. The infrastructure is very good. And in fact, on Saturdays and Sundays, there is a full stretch on ECR, which is open for cyclists. So, the street is also is very cycle friendly. So, let's make the best use of it.
Rian, what's your message for children?
Be passionate. Don't be passionate. Follow your dreams and never give up. If you have passion of some sport, you have passion of something, do it. Don't keep sitting. Don't keep sitting at your house. Do
Like,
something.
like we always say, that eat right,
Eat right,
train right,
train right,
and sleep tight.
sleep.
Thank you so much. It was such a joy talking to both of you. And that were Commander Gauri Mishra, retired from the Indian Navy, and his son Ryan, both accomplished cyclists, talking to us about Gauri Mishra's recent accomplishment, ranking in the top 10 in the UCI World Cycling Track Cycling Championship. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope you liked this conversation. And with Suresh in Chennai, Sam Daniel, Find It TV.